contact, we're gonna go to extension. So then you'll go to extension, I'll put another one on, and then you'll go full swing, okay? So we're gonna break it up a little bit. Get your hands ready for an outside pitch. Okay, restart, extension. Good. Restart, all the way through. What are we emphasizing? Well, yes, definitely, but for you specifically, your hips. Okay. So, what's different with your hips from extension to between step 2 and step 3? What's different?
When I'm here, I'm like going a lot, and then when I'm fully turning, I think.
Well, yeah. So when you're going to extension, right? That's when you stop your hips usually in your swing, right? You go to extension and then let your arms finish. So we're really feeling the difference now between the extension and then realizing, hey, I have a lot other things to do as well on my finish. Let me get my hips involved as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So contact point, extension, then I'll feed you again for a full. Good. So, what happened on that last one? It's not a bad thing though. I mean, it is a bad thing, but it's a very good thing because why do you think if you're coming here, you're falling out of your shoes?
I'm swinging really hard.
Because you're swinging really hard, you got so much power, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing something, if I do something here and I only hit you like this, is that going to be softer or harder if I hit you like that? Softer, right? That's the same thing here. Now you have to learn, which is a good thing to have to learn this, to keep your power a little more down and stable in your trunk because you have so much more power to go around.
Yeah.
Cool?
I'm putting the little chip right here. So.
Perfect. Oh. Okay, so for contact, you did this the past 2 times. You're kind of slowing down once you start moving your bat, and then when you're slowing down, you're letting the bat control your hands, and the top is kind of floating down.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
A little bit.
Right, because you're kind of getting contact, not center of the ball.
Yeah.
So I need you. This is what we've been talking about for like the past couple of weeks of really breaking down and control of every step. Right. You should be able to come here, and then stop yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's the same thing where you're really good, you're doing an active take, you're ready for it, and then you realize it's got a nasty back door, and then you don't want to go for it. That's the same thing of coming here, and then just stop it.
Yeah.
Right? It's more than just translating from this drill. Yeah, that was better. Move this way.
This is like far.
Far outside?
No, like
or far in the zone?
Like in the zone, I think.
Yeah. Because what did we talk about before? Yeah. From here?
It wasn't
Okay, so what's happening?
I went under.
Yeah. And you said to yourself, oh, that's kind of far. If I pitch you a ball right here, you can stay back where you were. You don't have to be that far in the zone. If I pitch you a ball right here, is that completely like a ball?
No.
No, right? So you already have in your mind that you have to chase it, that you have to go for it, right? That's just a regular strike.
Yeah.
It happens to be an outside strike, but it's a strike, okay? So don't let where you see the ball change anything about your swing, right? You don't want to, if you're casting and pitching that way, then you're going to slice it off.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? All right, I want you to show me contact twice.
Like stop.
Yep. Good. Okay. Look at this contact, right? That's when we're going there.
Yeah.
You need to keep your hands in. Put your hands up, you need to keep them in, okay?
Okay.
Your hands aren't following the ball. Your hands are finding the height of the ball and then coming to it, okay? So remember, that safely. Put your seatbelt on, right? Keep your seatbelt on, and then go. Right? This movement right here is not for you to find the ball. It's for you to find the height so that your bat can then touch the ball.
Okay.
So contact again. That's better. Yep. Extension. Full. Better or worse than the last one we did?
Better.
Better. Why? What'd you feel?
I use my hips more.
Okay. What about, how did it feel off your bat?
It felt like
Okay. Right, because as much as you know, if you're making contact, there is still a sweet spot in the bat, right?
Yeah.
In between the O and the A area.
Yeah.
So if we've got the right timing, that comes into timing. So we want to make sure we're practicing with the right, seeing it in the right place, because then that'll help you visualize it when you have a half a second to the side, but you know you want to hit it here instead of out here.
Yeah.
Contact, extension. So if you're going to extension, should your arms be here?
No.
No, right? Because we're coming here, this is extension.
Yeah.
Your bat's off the ball, that's when extension stops. And then your arms have to just come in. You don't need to straighten this arm. That's why you're coming and you're kind of getting it with a flat back. Flat back. Go back and show where you just were. Right? This, you're pushing now. You're not hitting the ball. You're just pushing it through the zone. This is getting your hands to the height and then letting your bat, you keep your hands there, letting your bat hit the ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Because if we're just coming here, we're just pushing it along.
Yeah.
We want to get our hands to the height. Oh shoot! and then let the rest go.
Yeah.
Right? I got my hips involved. I got so much power in that. Wasn't expecting it. All right, contact. Good. Extension.
I felt my hands go through
Yeah.
that.
So how do we fix that? What do we think is weak? If your hands are coming here, what do you think is weak? The wrists. Okay.
Ready to fold? Ready to set?
No, restart. Strong wrists. That's okay. That's okay. Extension. Much better. Very nice. Okay, so your wrist play a huge role in the at-bat as well. This one, your left hand, right, is to find the height of the ball.
Yeah.
Keep the ball down, right? The only thing you need, you play basketball at any point? Okay, so in basketball, if I were to, yes, what does the other hand do?
Guides it.
It guides it. Yeah, it doesn't do that, but it guides it, okay? So if we're shooting a basketball, this hand is just for a guide,
Yeah.
okay? That's what this hand is for. This is flicking it, getting in where we want it to go, and this is just guiding it for a line drive, okay? So let this go for the ride, let this one be in control, okay? That's where you really need control of your wrist as well, because if you get tired or you're not engaging your wrist or, you know, thinking you need to use them, then your right hand's gonna take over and let the bat drop,
Yeah.
right? This controls, this is just a guide for a flat ball,
Okay.
okay? Not done yet? Oh, trash. It's okay.
Start over. Where is?
Yeah, start over. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Good. Pull. Very nice. Take a second. So now, after we've got a good rhythm, we're gonna take a second. So we wanna make sure, one, obviously you're not overworking yourself. You don't do lesser reps because you're tired. Two, when you get back in the box, right, you have to wait 8 batters before you can get back in the box.
Yeah.
You need to make sure your muscle memory is still there. Obviously we're building in here so we can tweak it and really strengthen it here. We wanna make sure what we know now is, you know, kind of more natural after we've been working on it, and what we know we really still need to focus on in practice. Does that make sense?
It's kind of hot
Colin hitting the ball. All right. Red flag number 1. Where you set up in the box. You can do a little more. I want it inside of your left foot. No, other way. Yeah.
I feel crooked.
So, hands just in, okay? You're just getting that. This part right here, it moves. Right? If you're getting anywhere near that, your hands aren't close enough. You're not doing seatbelt, okay? Contact.
Piss missile time.
Well, look at your foot, please. Don't think piss missile. You're gonna try piss missile, and then you're gonna swing out of your shoes.
Good thing I did dance when I was little.
Why is that a good thing?
Because
You're like agile.
Because then I could spin out of my shoes.
No, that's not a good thing. You don't want that to happen.
But spinning
But
is
if you think piss missile, automatically mind came over matter. You thought piss missile and forgot everything we just did, bro. Possibly.
It may be a possibility that occurred in my brain.
Okay, well now I'm gonna tell you, if you hit anything, if there's been times where like I'm working on like basic mentality, like I don't care if you hit a home run or you hit a dribbler up the line, I'm holding you at first base. Okay, like there's been times I've told that to my players. Why?
Because
Why? I mean, that wasn't like my reasoning, but I guess that's like a fine reason. That's actually a good reason. But no, the thing is because one huge shot, right, in most scenarios is not going to change the game, like the course of the game. Inning 1 through 5, right, when the game's going on, there's no scores, there's a couple runs, whatever, one shot is not going to define the game, right? So if I hold you at first base, it's just another base runner, right? Obviously we want extra bases, we want second, we want third. But when I say I'm just holding you at first base, what do you think they do? You think they're still going to try to go yard?
maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe to prove me wrong, probably. But what's really going to happen is, all right, I'm going to first base. I really don't need to hit it that hard because whether I hit a triple or not, I don't want to waste it, right? And then it just so happens that they make really good contact. And I'm like, okay, you can go to third. Like, keep going. But then at this point, it's no longer, you can't decide what's going to happen before you go to bat. Yes, you have a strategy. I mean, yes, you have like an approach and a plan. Like, okay, this is what I like. This is what the pitcher's been throwing. We've got a runner on third. I need something up the right side. You know, like that's the strategy and that cue that you can plan for. But other than that, you can't go to that saying, I'm hitting a triple, right? You need to go up saying, base hits, quality at-bats, do my job, whether it's move the runner over, take a bunt, get a bunt down, whatever your job is at that point has already been decided by your approach. You can't change anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, if we were in a game, I'm holding you at first base, no matter what your hit is. Okay? Contact. Good. Good.
I had a mistake.
Sure did. You know what I would have done right there?
It sent me to third.
Yeah, I really would have. Why?
Because I didn't think about hitting a business.
No, that was just really solid contact. Like, that was really good, Tor. That was awesome. I'm so happy and proud that my analogy worked because sometimes they just make no sense. But that was awesome, right? When you don't think about it, you let your swag take over. That you're an athlete. Yeah, step on the field, you say, I own you. Even if you strike me out, I can still tell a girl after me what you throw and what you can't throw, right?
Yeah.
So there's always a job to be done. Take a second, get these balls. I'm gonna go get my radar gun.
Okay.
And we're gonna check some, what's it called? MPHs.
Oh!
Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow on all platforms to stay up to date with the latest content from the Seize Up Nexi brand. When you're looking to grow on all levels, there are no off seasons. Seize Up.